Hi everyone, welcome to Storytime with Rania. So in today's video, I'll be telling you all about my clinical experience in the mother-baby unit. First of all, before I begin, I just want to say please excuse my hair. It is so flat today, like I look like a little boy with a comb over. This is just not how my hair was supposed to turn out today. Anyway, so in the second semester of my program, we needed 120 clinical hours. Those 120 hours were split up among 3 different placements, and one of those 3 placements for me was maternity. This was by far my favorite placement, so I was really sad that it went by so quickly. So like I said, we needed 120 clinical hours, and those were split up among 3 locations. So my maternity placement was, I think, a total of 36 hours, and those 36 hours were split into 3 12s, so it went by really, really fast. So up to that point, I had been volunteering for probably like 3 years at a long-term care home working with seniors with dementia. And our entire first semester's clinical placement was at a long-term care facility as well. So all I've ever done really was worked with seniors, and the idea of working with a new population, especially newborns, was so exciting to me. I couldn't wait to work in maternity. It's like usually one of the happiest units in the hospital. So like this was something I was just looking so forward to. So the weekend before attending our maternity placements, we actually had to first attend a mandatory maternity simulation on the weekend. And if you don't know what a simulation is, they're these like hands-on lab experiences that allow you to practice critical skills in front of the class by acting and reacting to somewhat real-life situations. So basically, everybody in the class at some point through the simulation will have a chance to participate and act in front of each other. So people who are acting as patients, they're sort of prepped and they're given like a loose script to follow. And the person who's acting as the nurse basically knows nothing. They walk into the situation and using their critical thinking and decision-making skills, they have to treat the patient that's in front of them. And these simulations are used to help kind of prepare you for potential real-life situations that you would experience. Okay, so on the first day of clinical, we pretty much just shadowed the instructor, but we did do some hands-on stuff as well. So first she took us around the unit and the patient rooms, and then she showed us how to chart and how to use the EMR. And then she also gave as many of us as she could the chance to do postpartum assessments, newborn assessments, and baths. But because the first day was mostly shadowing, there's only so much that she could show us, so we actually ended up finishing a little early. I think our day was only like 10 hours long, so that wasn't too bad. The second day we were paired up and sent off with a buddy nurse who we once again kind of shadowed but also worked alongside with. So again, we had the chance to do newborn assessments, postpartum assessments, baths, and discharge teaching. So we did a little bit more work on the second day than we did on the first day. I do remember though, partway through the second day, feeling kind of bad because at one point my clinical instructor pulled me aside and she was just like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "I'm sorry?" She's like, "Your nurse buddy," we'll just call her Kay. "Your nurse buddy Kay, she came up to me and she was asking what's wrong with my student. She doesn't seem like she wants to be here." And like, I was just kind of taken aback because I 100% wanted to be there. Like that placement was the placement that I was looking forward to more than anything. So till this day, I don't really know why they thought I didn't want to be there. I mean, I kind of do. I think it's probably because of my personality. So I don't have like a loud, bubbly personality like some of the girls in my group did. I'm pretty reserved and like I'm very mellow, okay? Like I don't bring people from down here to up here. No, I bring people from up here to like down here. I don't know, it's my personality. I'm just really mellow. So I think that's why they thought I didn't want to be there, but I don't know. They were so wrong because like I really wanted to be there. I was so excited, and even till today, like I still look back on that and I think like, wow, like what an amazing placement. I had so much fun there. Like I would love to work in the maternity unit. The third day though was actually a lot better. We were paired up and pretty much on our own. So we were assigned our own patients together, and without the nurse or instructor, we completed our own newborn assessments, postpartum assessments, baths, discharge teaching, all that kind of stuff. So I remember the first time I did a postpartum assessment without my instructor there. I was standing there, at my patient's bedside, and I was kind of like muttering to myself the bubbly acronym. So I was just kind of like, bee, bubbly, bee, breasts, bee, uterus, bladder, bowels. And then the patient was just like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Sorry, I'm just working my way through this acronym in my head." And she was just like, "Oh, okay." And the first baby that I bathed, it was nothing like the dolls that we had practiced with in lab, okay? So real life babies are slippery and they're squirmy and they scream and they cry, just nothing at all like those dolls. I thought that little baby was just gonna like slip out the tub. So at the start of the day, I think we were all so nervous and so anxious. Like none of us really knew what we were doing, even though we prepared in lab and we prepared in sim. It was still nothing like the real thing. But by the end of my third day, by the end of the third day, we were all so confident. Like it felt so natural to us. It was really cool to experience that, feeling like you know nothing to just suddenly feeling like you're just in your zone. So another thing that happened to me on my third day was one of my patients, she needed to go to the bathroom, so I went with her. And just after she sat down, she looked up at me and she's like, "I feel really dizzy." And then all of a sudden her face just like the color drained from her face and she just passed out. And I had to like slowly like guide her down to the floor. I hit the emergency button. All the nurses on the unit came running over to help. They helped me get her into a wheelchair, and then when that was all done, like I looked at myself and I don't know how, but like I had her blood like all over my arms. It was all over the floor. Anyway, like she was fine. She was fine in the end. I can't remember what it was. Like her blood pressure dropped, yes, but there was a reason. I can't remember why. I don't know. This was a year ago that I had this placement. Anyway, she was fine. We put her on fluids, and then every hour after that, I just checked her vitals. But I do remember at one point too, I we were checking her heart rate while she was sitting, and then again when she was standing. When she was sitting, her heart rate was like normal, and then when she stood up, it jumped to 144 beats per minute. Like I've never seen a heart rate so high. I don't know. I'm sure other nurses have, but this is my first time. So I'd never seen a heart rate so high before. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. So no one in my group got to actually witness a birth, which was kind of sad because, I mean, obviously we all wanted to see that. Students in other groups got to see C-sections and natural births, but for some reason, like all the babies were born either before we came in for a shift or after we left our shift. So it didn't work out for any of us. But I did get to see a C-section, not a C-section, I just said I didn't see that. I did get to see a circumcision and also what is it called? I can't remember what it's called. Like a tongue tie release? Tongue tie release? I don't know, when they snip the frenulum. So many of you might not know this unless you've had a baby that had this done or you work in healthcare already, but some babies when they're born, the frenulum, which is the webbing underneath the tongue, the frenulum comes right to the tip of the tongue, which impairs the tongue's movement and if not corrected will interfere with feeding and probably down the road speech. So if that baby's born with a tongue tie, that frenulum actually needs to be cut. So I got to watch that on one baby. I mean, it's really nothing exciting. The doctor just used his like scissor tool. I don't know what the tool was, but like his scissor tool just kind of snipped it and that was it. Wasn't really anything exciting. So that was my experience in the maternity unit. I wish I got to see a birth or a C-section or just something cool, but that's okay because I did get to experience other things. I saw a circumcision. I got to see that little tongue snip. That was pretty that was pretty much it. But it was really cool. I really, really enjoyed my time in maternity. I don't know, I really loved it. The babies, oh my god, the babies are so cute. I did not think I was gonna enjoy it as much as I did. I just loved it so much. Like the parents have no idea how much time and thought went into me picking those little hats for their babies. Like, you know, when the babies come home from the hospital, they got cute little knit caps. Yeah, I picked those caps. I put so much thought into each one. I'm like, oh, this one would be perfect for this baby. This one would be perfect for this one. This family, like, they're gonna love this hat. It's such a stupid little thing, but like, oh my god, I had so much fun picking the little hats. And then bathing the babies and just, I don't know, the whole thing. Oh my God, and swaddling them. Ugh, I just love wrapping them into like little burritos. They're just so cute. So yeah, maternity was a really good time. Yeah, I would love to work in maternity, I think. But I still need to experience I still need to experience more clinical placements to really know what it is that I like. But so far, like, yeah, I loved the mother baby unit. So that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed listening to my experience in the maternity unit. I'm sure I left out a lot of details. Like this placement was almost a year ago, so I'm sure I left out a lot of stuff, but I tried my best to remember what I could. I have just the worst memory ever, so I'm sure I left out a lot. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.